Uh, Good morning, Kirstie. Thank you for taking part in our 6 simple questions session for the Business Network. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Kirstie Buchanan. I'm the Growth and Partnerships Director over at CTI Digital in Manchester.
Great, thanks, Kirstie. Well, we've interviewed Nick before, but tell us how you ended up at CTI.
So I've been with CTI, this is coming up to my second year, but I've known Nick probably, for 10, 15 years. So I've been part of the digital and advertising scene within the Northwest for probably 15 years. So came up from London with my husband, 16 years ago. He was headhunted to be the marketing director at Phones for You in Stoke, and I opened up a northern office for an agency called Reading Room at the time. And during that time, digital was up and coming within Manchester, but the sort of owners and the agencies already started collaborating quite early on, so which was quite different and quite unique, I felt, in the Northwest. That it was something that didn't happen as much down in London. Right. London's a bit more sort of, spread out, and it's a wee bit more competitive, but collectively, the group of agencies, that were around at that time, so there was CTI, there was Reading Room, there was Star.Star, which is a acquisition that we've actually brought into the CTI family, and Co-Computer Love. We were all working in that sort of same sort of group, and collectively, we wanted to make Manchester, a number one sort of digital destination, as it were, for recruitment, but also for clients, that they realised that they didn't need to go down to London to appoint an agency, that they had people right on their doorsteps. So I've always sort of followed what CTI have been up to, and it just, our paths crossed at just the ideal time, and I've been with CTI ever since. Brilliant.
Thank you very much. Now, you've not been to a Business Network lunch yet. You've seen us virtually, but the gist is we like to know something personal about our members. So we always ask them a quirky question or something during lunch. But so just to get to that feel, what are your hobbies and pastimes? When you're not out representing CTI, what do you do in your spare time?
I would say that I'm a passionate cook. I don't know if sometimes those recipes follow through in the passion that I give to cooking, but I love cooking. Predominantly savoury meals from across the world. During lockdown, my husband and I and a group of ex-colleagues and friends have been meeting once a month virtually to eat around the world. So we're currently at and we dress up and we eat from that country, and we've done it all through lockdown. And I think the largest group that we've had on a Zoom has been around 20 people. But honestly, it's been the best thing that we've ever done during lockdown. We've had the biggest laughs, honestly.
It is funny how it's brought people together, isn't it? That you've not spoken to for ages, or
it's just been perfect. And honestly, it's just a great way to sort of end the week. So I do a lot of cooking. I've also got 3 dogs, so they take a lot of time. 2 of them are very high maintenance. I don't know where they get that from. And then the other one's the most laid back, dog known to man. So lots of cooking and lots of walking.
Great, brilliant. And following on, podcasts, do you listen to any? Was there any what you'd like to recommend?
With regards to business, to be quite truthful, I've been listening to quite a few of Chris Evans from Virgin. He's created his own sort of podcast, and he's been doing he's had a real mixture of guests on. They've been very sort of around the well-being, how to focus during this sort of time, how to reset. And I found those quite interesting, actually. I mean, some of them you sort of go, I'm not too sure about this. It could be a bit too sort of in your face, as it were, and a bit too worthy. But honestly, it's been really good to help reset.
Yeah.
And just hear sometimes how other people have approached problems. And I think sometimes that's what, it's really useful to get involved or hear, from that, because you can become quite sort of insular, can't you? And thinking that you're the only one that's ever had this sort of problem. So to see different approaches, that's been really, really good. And they're the ones that I've been focusing on quite a lot. I've also been focusing on, I don't know if you know, my dad's an ex-footballer, so Bob Mortimer from Mortimer, he's got a footballing podcast, which is very tongue-in-cheek, which again is very funny. So I try to do a mixture of sort of business and a bit of sort of humor and insight, because I work in marketing. Content from any source can be interesting, but also when you're brainstorming ideas, for clients, you've got to be able to come from it from sometimes quite a lateral sort of point of view. So that sort of information, that you can glean from these can be really useful.
Brilliant, thanks. And book-wise, are you a book reader?
I am a book reader.
Right.
I am probably more sort of biographies, autobiographies. So I over the holidays, I finished Michelle Obama's. It's one that I started and typically, never got to finish. So that was superb. And I've also just finished, and it's quite an old one, but it's Bruce Springsteen. So again, another rock one as well. So they're the ones that I've been listening to. And then we also do the audio files on long journeys as well. So
I've got a couple of audiobooks to listen to while I'm away as well. So, but Michelle Obama, I did start listening to that, and again, I didn't finish it, so I'll have to revisit that one. So,
well, everyone kept saying to me they couldn't believe that I hadn't sort of, because I am an avid reader and I normally pick up a book and I don't normally put it down until I finished it, but work got in the way, I think, of that one. So I just wanted to make sure that I'd actually finished it so I could at least talk about it.
Yeah. Great. And the final question is, have you any words of wisdom for us? So
I think it's just breathe. I think that is the thing. I think it honestly is. I think it's just, during this time, and fingers crossed, we're all sort of coming out of it. We're all getting our jabs and everything like that. But I think it's just taking a step back and breathe and just looking at the bigger picture. And just also knowing that there's people around you that can support you, and just not being scared to reach out and ask a question. I've always done that. It doesn't matter how foolish the question can be. I always think it's better to ask. And
we're all in the same boat, aren't we? We're all experiencing the same thing. But look, Kirstie, thank you so much for this. This has been brilliant.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Bye.